I'm Terry Aubin, Superintendent of Frederick County Public Schools, and on behalf of our 42,000 amazing students and 5,000 outstanding employees, I want to welcome you to our groundbreaking ceremony for Sugarloaf Elementary School. We want to thank whoever arranged for this beautiful weather. It is truly an amazing day, and we have much to celebrate as this event happens. We have some very special guests here today, people who have contributed and worked a long time to make this day possible. And so I would like to recognize our elected leaders and some other special guests. From our Frederick County government, we have County Executive Jan Gardner. We have County Council members Tony Schmelik, Jerry Donald, MC Keegan-Air, Council President Bud Otis, and Billy Shreve. From the Frederick County Public School Board of Education, we have President Brad Young, Vice President Liz Barrett, and board members Ken Kerr, Mike Beninsky, and Joy Schaefer. I would also like to acknowledge someone who, while not an elected official, certainly does a lot of work both with our county government and our school system, and that is our educational liaison, Janice Spiegel. We are joined by many of our senior leaders in Frederick County Public Schools, and they'll get a photo op later. We want to focus on members of the PTA community who are here to join with us today. Sherry Bombick, Adrian Edgel, Jackie Brunsel, I apologize if I'm messing up your names, and Angela, I don't have your last name, and Rachel White. Would our PTA representatives please stand and be acknowledged? From Oak Construction, the folks who will be leading and guiding this project, we have Doug Etter and Christy Giordano. And from Grimman Parker, we have Don Porter. And we have some very special VIPs. Do my VIPs know what VIP stands for? Very important person. We have student ambassadors who will be participating in today's ceremony. And so please allow me to introduce, and I want to read all of your names and have each of you stand up, and then we're going to give the whole group a big round of applause. Representing 5th grade from Urbana Elementary School is Dave Opti. Representing 3rd grade from Urbana Elementary School is Jackson Fuentes. Representing kindergarten from Urbana Elementary School is Jada Gentilocci. 4th grade, Mr. Dawson Gradator. Another 4th grader, Haney Cyrus. 1st grade, Bryn Jarkowski. 2nd grade, Quentin Mauer. 1st grade, Trevor Miller. Grade 5, I like that, Adrian Sellers. Kindergarten, Jackson Stanley. And grade 2, Carlin Webster. Students, would you all please stand so we can give you a big round of applause. You are why we are here today. So, I want to thank all of you. I'm sorry, I did forget one other very important person. The person who made this site available for us, the person who has built homes in this community and been an incredible partner to our schools in this area and to our school system, Mr. Tom Natelli. Tom, could you stand up and be recognized? And I just saw Senator Ron Young walk in this morning or afternoon. Welcome, Senator Young. This is a very important milestone. A lot of people have worked very hard to get to this day, and so many people are going to continue working for many more months as we look forward to the opening of this awesome new school. I'm thinking about the planners, the architects, and the construction workers, the administrators and teachers who have so much to do before they can call this new building their home. I'm thinking about the parents and the families who have worked together to help this happen, but who will now work together to construct much more than a new building. They will be building a community of learning. We need to acknowledge the many parents, neighbors, teachers, and community members who came together from the very beginning of this project to help plan it and move it forward toward fruition. This will truly be an amazing facility for our community, our teachers and staff, and our young people to enjoy for generations to come. But we know that once the construction here ends, our real work, the work of educating our next generation of Frederick County leaders, will begin. To our elected officials, we are doing a groundbreaking ceremony for 2 new schools today. There aren't many superintendents and communities that get to have that kind of celebration. And I know that that was not an easy journey. There were a lot of hurdles to making that happen. And so, again, we cannot thank you enough for all you did to ensure that we were doing this afternoon and also another new elementary school for our students. So could we give our elected officials another big round of applause? And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you another record setter. We want to confirm, but we are pretty sure that Ms. Tess Blumenthal, who is the current principal of Urbana Elementary, will move her staff into Sugarloaf for a year before she gets to move back into the new Urbana Elementary School. And we don't think any principal has ever done that before. 2 new buildings in 2 years. So here we have our record-setting principal, Ms. Tess Blumenthal, to make a few remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Albin. Greetings to all the state and local officials here today. Greetings to our FCPS Board of Education members and other FCPS staff members who are here today. Greetings to our Urbana Elementary PTA current and past board members. And special greetings to my students and their families. Thank you for taking time out of your school day to come. Thank you for joining us for this significant event for the Urbana community. I am excited and honored to be here today as the principal who will transition Urbana Elementary to this new school next year. A groundbreaking for a new school is always a special occasion. Sugarloaf Elementary is especially welcomed as it will eventually relieve overcrowding in multiple schools in the Urbana area. A true commitment to the Urbana area has been demonstrated by the creation of Sugarloaf Elementary. And in turn, we will demonstrate a commitment to the community, as a school is more than just a building. It represents a commitment to the community and its children, a commitment by staff to provide a rigorous and relevant education to each and every student, as well as a commitment to establishing relationships with students and families that are supportive, meaningful, and caring. Sugarloaf Elementary will be a special school designated as a Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or LEED school. Several specific initiatives, including the positioning of the school to best use natural light sources, the use of light harvesting light fixtures, as well as a geothermal HVAC system. These innovative and purposeful design strategies demonstrate commitment to the Urbana and Frederick environments. The building of an additional school in Urbana is a commitment by Frederick County to the Urbana community in solving overcrowding. This commitment will have a positive, lasting effect on children in this area. On behalf of Urbana Elementary, thank you to the State of Maryland, Board of Education, and Frederick County for your commitment and support for the construction of Sugarloaf Elementary School. We are looking forward to the transition to this new building next year. And at this time, I'd like to welcome and introduce Mr. Brad Young, President of the Board of Education.
It is indeed an honor to be here on behalf of the board today to see this groundbreaking. Although we can see behind us, we probably should have brought, instead of having shovels, had some bricks and mortar because the building's coming along pretty nicely. But it's an outstanding achievement of our county government, our state government, and our local school board working together. Before I continue a little bit, I wanted to also, Dr. Albin mentioned that State Senator Young came in here today to wish him a happy birthday. He keeps telling everybody he's 57. I'm almost 53, so I can't figure that out. I don't know what's going on there. But as I said, it takes a long time to make this building happen. I started on the board in 2010, and we already knew that we had an overcrowding problem, both out here in the Urbana area and on the west end of Frederick. And so we started looking at that. And we also knew we had a long-standing commitment to Frederick High in order to get that project done, and that was a big project. So trying to work with our previous Board of Commissioners, we were able to get this piece of property. And again, thank you to Mr. Natelli and the great things that he has done, not only for this community, but for our school system. Again, Mr. Natelli, if you ever get down to the Earth, Space, and Science Lab, you'll see the, I forget the thing, it's, the observatory, that's the correct word I'm looking for. The observatory was made possible through the generous donations of Mr. Natelli. So thank you again for everything that you've done. But we started working then, and we started putting these buildings in the planning project. Well, one thing became abundantly clear. There wasn't enough money to do everything that we wanted to do. And so we moved forward with Frederick High, and that came in much more expensive than we had projected. And we had two communities that were very overcrowded out here and in Frederick. And so we had a meeting, and I can remember that meeting very clearly a few years ago, where the community came to advocate, the Urbana community and the Hillcrest Waverly community, to advocate for their new school to be the one that was most important. And we felt that they were both important, and we needed to work together with our county government and state government and make both happen. And we thank County Executive Gardner and the current county council for making that happen, because it is so important. When we have schools that are designed for 700 students that have over 1,000 students in them, it isn't right, and we need to fix that. And so this building and the new building that we're going to groundbreak this afternoon for Butterfly Ridge are so critically important to make sure that all our students have a seat and they're not out in portables and not in overcrowded rooms. So I do again want to thank, I don't think we have any other state officials here other than Dad and our county council, county president, county executive for making that possible. Yesterday, County Executive Gardner, Dr. Albin, and I went down to the Board of Public Works in Annapolis to advocate for our funding, our continued funding. And I want to throw some kudos out there to our operations staff. Every time we go down there, they fall over backwards bragging about Frederick County and how well we take care of our buildings. I expect nothing different from this building and the new Frederick High and new Butterfly Ridge, and it's why we get favorable ratings down there. A couple other people I did want to recognize I saw in the audience. I know he was retired, now he's unretired, but Ray Barnes was our Chief Operating Officer during the time of the beginning part of this. Now Paul Lebo is our Chief Operating Officer, but Ray played a critical part in this process of getting us from the start to where we are here today. So thank you, Ray, for that part of the process. And also I see in the back row Katie Groth, who was a board member on the board. And again, when I came on the board, it was extremely important to Katie to get Frederick High done, but then to get these projects on track. And so through Katie's leadership in that board, we were able to get that done. It's now my privilege to introduce our county executive, and as I said, our county government has been critically important in this process to making these projects happen. And as we move forward, they're going to still have to be creative in trying to find ways. We have Rock Creek School coming up. We have another elementary school that's going to be needed, and it goes on and on and on. And not to mention, we have 40 buildings that are over 25 years old that are in need of renovation. And so we have those projects in the pipeline, roofs, chillers, you name it, parking lots. It's expensive, and we're going to have to continue to work with our county government to make sure we can keep those projects moving. With that, County Executive Gardner.
Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day here in Urbana and in Frederick County. We couldn't have gotten a better weather day for this wonderful event. So on behalf of the citizens of Frederick County, I say welcome. I'm really pleased and excited to be here for what we're saying is the official groundbreaking, but it's kind of the official mid-construction recognition ceremony. Urbana Elementary and nearby Centerville Elementary have been overcrowded for a number of years. They are some of the most seriously overcrowded schools in our community. Right now, both schools are over 135% of state-rated capacity, and we do have over 400 students more than we have seats in a school here. So we've been talking in county government and the Board of Education for a number of years about the need for schools here in Urbana. And there were a few roadblocks and challenges that we had to overcome to get here today. First, we needed a school site. There was no school site identified in this area of the county where a new school could be built. Then our county and the country went into a recession, and revenue fell, and there was a slowdown in school construction for a number of years. Then, shortly after I became county executive, we saw a significant rise in school construction costs. And that was true, across the state as well. And so we were challenged to keep Frederick High School on schedule. We were challenged to try to build Sugarloaf Elementary and Butterfly Ridge at the same time. But in the Frederick County way, we didn't give up. We decided we were going to get the job done. So working together, we decided to put our problem solving and creativity to work so that we could finish Frederick High School and build these two elementary schools in different parts of the county at the same time. And of course, the Urbana community rose to the challenge too. So I always want to thank the parents and the PTA and the advocates for our schools. That's how I first started out and got interested in county government, was through PTA and by being an advocate for education, and I feel like it's a big part of what I continue to do every day. And I know there's a few other people on the county council as well as staff who have really come out of PTAs. But people jumped into action to find efficiencies, to keep project costs down, and we worked with our community partners to find land and to come up with a multifaceted plan to keep all of these projects on time and on schedule. And you can see that we were successful. We've made it happen, and I think that's what we're here to celebrate today. I want to give some well-deserved thanks to people. First, to the staff at Frederick County Public Schools, for always being willing to be open-minded, to look at new ways to get things done, and for making our money go as far as possible. And for being part of the team that helps us to get all of these projects done. I want to thank the county council, particularly the majority of the county council who voted for the capital budget to support this school and the other schools in the CIP, and for agreeing to forward fund the state share of construction costs, because the state will be reimbursing us in the future for the state share of this school. We don't have it yet. And I want to thank members of the development community, specifically Tom Natelli with Natelli Communities, because he did provide this school site, and he was not required to provide this school site. And in addition to that, the Natelli Communities graded the property and assisted with getting the site ready for construction. It was also important to recognize that two developers, Tom Natelli and Jason Wiley from Elm Street Development, agreed to be part of a creative funding solution to help get Frederick High School built and these two elementary schools built at the same time. And I can tell you that Council President Otis and Council Vice President MC Keegan Air, our budget staff, and a variety of other people spent a lot of hours meeting on trying to figure out how to get this done. So I appreciate that we have a business community that also recognizes that good schools are a community priority and that adequate school space is in the best interest of all of us in this community. When we put out a call for help, people stepped up to the plate to be part of solution. And that's what we do in Frederick County. We find a way to get it done. And of course, I want to thank the administration of the school, the teachers, the students, the families, the surrounding neighborhood who need to be flexible and tolerate some of the inconveniences that come with construction, and for the challenges of being in overcrowded schools for years. The fact that Urbana Elementary is an open classroom kind of school presents its own challenges, insufficient bathroom spaces, and just with students in portables. Sugarloaf Elementary School will be a school this community can be proud of. It will be a state-of-the-art facility with adequate space for 725 students, up-to-date technology, space for small group learning, natural lighting, and all of the amenities that come with a 21st century educational facility. The new Sugarloaf Elementary School will reflect the greater Urbana community. It will be a symbol for a community that clearly values education and puts the needs of our students first, not yielding to the challenges that we found in the way. We can hardly wait for the new Sugarloaf Elementary School to open in September and become part of Frederick County's rich history and bright future. As we turn the dirt with the shovels today, we move one step closer to completing a multi-year plan to finally add additional elementary school capacity in Urbana. I'm very proud to be part of this project. I was very proud to be part of the problem-solving team that helped to get this done. And I really want to thank everybody who's made this school a reality. Thank you very much.
In closing, I would like to thank our speakers and each of you for attending this special occasion. Sugarloaf Elementary is named for a well-known and well-loved Frederick County landmark, which is also a registered national natural landmark, Sugarloaf Mountain. Just as Sugarloaf Mountain was historically used to send out beacons of light, my hope is that Sugarloaf Elementary will provide its students with a strong educational landmark that will be a foundation for their future, and that this new school will always be committed to rigor, relevance, and relationships for all students, and that the students themselves will be beacons of light as outstanding global citizens. So at this time, I'd like to share a little bit of the after piece with you. If you have not signed the guest book or the large beam that's on the side, please do so before you leave. This beam will actually be inserted into the building, and so your name will be there forever. So if you would like to sign your name, please do so before you leave. At this time, I'd like to invite all our officials and students to come for the official groundbreaking ceremony. Families, as soon as we're done, or anyone else, you're free to take some pictures yourselves, and please enjoy some delicious refreshments. Thank you for coming.